Here tonight. Where's my lighter? I'm going to start here tonight by lighting a candle to, oh, there it is, Mary of Guadalupe. We'll start here tonight by lighting a candle to Mary of Guadalupe. Mary Guadalupe, be with us. Be with us here tonight. Guide my hand as I shuffle to pull the right cards that answer the questions. Welcome, Chloe. Hail Mary, full of grace, the Lord is with thee. Blessed are you among women, and blessed is the fruit of your womb. Pray for us tonight. Guide us. And this is a question that came to me today from one of my relatives. My life has been shattered by illusion. How do I know what is actually reality? I'm going to start first by seeing what Spirit has to say about this. And welcome, Chloe. It's good to see you again. So we will start. I'm going to use the Apprentice Tarot. I'm going to start here with that, the Apprentice Tarot. And we're going to knock it in there. Going to knock the question in here. My life has been shattered by illusion. How do I know what is actually reality? Tonight is a full moon or almost full moon. Full moons illuminate for us the thing, our anxieties, our troubles. At least that's what the moon card does. So we are going to do a 4-card spread. The first card is the issue, and then the following 3 card is advice. Advice on how to distinguish between illusion and reality, and that is what this question is. How to distinguish between illusion and reality. And the issue lies here. Okay. So it starts here with the intolerance of weakness being the Queen of Swords in reverse. Communication, a lack of communication. There is a lack of communication here, a lack of shared reality. A lack of shared reality. So that's really what's at stake here. The illusion is created because there's a lack of shared reality. And so how to break through that lack of shared reality? So the advice is feels like that this should be kind of like this instead. It doesn't really matter because these are just advices. And it begins by having a goal in mind. So the goal is you want to live in reality rather than live in a state of illusion. To try to understand what is your shared reality. And understanding that there is a reality outside of yourself that is shared. It's shared by other people. And you are just one piece of that reality. And to spend time looking outward, looking out of yourself, because inside yourself, you have said that you're shattered and broken inside. So you need to spend some time looking outside of yourself. And then moving into this new reality, outside of yourself, inside of yourself, and moving. But also is to go back, to remember back in time when before in that before time, before your life was broken. So you have to think of that time before. And that's what this card is talking about. Maybe go back into the memories of your youth or into happy times and to take those memories and that time when you knew what was real, when you knew what was real, and move into this other place to where you can see through those illusions by looking into, and this guy is here, he's standing on a ledge, he's looking out over the world, there's boats around, and looking into the sun, and looking into the light of the sun. And that light of the sun can illuminate those places in your life where you're wrecked by these illusionary thoughts. And so let's go take a look at the what's the vibe. And I'm going to ask the what's the vibe is what illusions are leading, what illusions, which illusions have shattered your life and shattered your reality? What illusions have 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 shattered your reality? This one. Burning bridges behind you. Suffering in silence. And paranoia, being insecure and guarded. So, in a state of paranoia, you are in a state of high anxiety. And it's difficult to see what is really real when you are in this place, in this state of mind of high anxiety. And inside, you are suffering. But on the outside, You put up a mask of something else. Maybe the mask that you put up of some to the rest of the world is an illusion that everything is okay. That everything is okay. And in this place where you feel that everybody, hello, welcome, Mama Sushi, where you feel that you have no trust in your relationships, no trust in anything, that it kind of feels like those bridges have been burned, because that's what I have here. Now, so this is these are the principal illusions that are shattering your reality, and these are the things you have to be on the watch for, to break through, to make sure that you don't burn bridges around it, that you create bridges between these different elements of your personality, bridging in between here, and knowing that, okay, you are suffering in silence, but maybe you need to spend more time speaking about these things that are bothering you, journaling them, and thinking about the dreams that you've had that haven't turned out. And then, but the one that is the hardest one to break through is your anxiety, which is leading you to believe things that aren't true. All right, let's go take a look at what the numbers were here. I want to see what the energy is that is over all this. Oh, one of my lights just burned out. All right, I knew that was going to happen. This one only has a short lifespan, but I got another light all charged up. So we're going to be looking at the sort of the numerological energy levels here. So Queen is what, a 12? No, 13, because there's 14 cards in a suit. So what we're looking at, I'm just gonna come over here and add this stuff up. We're looking at the number 5, because this one reduces to the number 5, and then we're bound by these 3 energy levels added together is 11 plus 6, 11, that's what, 3, 6, 9, 8, 16, 17, and 17. And we're going to look at it as, okay, we'll just look at it this way. 3, 8, and 6. And 3, 8, and 6. And so in this, we're looking at creative expression, manifestation, and love. Everything is bound here by love. And then on the issue, it's about needing change. And this is kind of that. And so change or freedom or to be challenged. So you need to challenge yourself when these illusions, like you get paranoia, or you're suffering in silence, or you feel the need to burn the bridges behind you. You need to challenge yourself to do something different. And what this something different is we're going to go looking at creative expression, looking at your vision and how you want to move forward, and then always tempered in love. And that's what these 3 numbers are. But let's combine them together and get their total energy. And what I say, 17, and it's 8. So the total energy here is 8, which is that manifestation or prosperity number. And then added together is 13, and it's 4. So it's really about to overcome this thing that your life has been shattered by illusion, how do you know what is actually reality is? You got to rebuild the foundations of your life. You rebuild the foundations of your life through this manifestation of what it is you really, really want. What is your heart's desire? What do you desire? What do you desire to do? And visualize this number and learn what this number means for you. And you have the number 5, and which is change, challenge, and freedom. So that is, you can come into a place of freedom here. But it really begins here by rebuilding your foundation, becoming stable again. So when you get paranoid, you got to tell yourself that this is all an illusion. When you are suffering and you feel like no one understands you, no one, whatever, woe is me, you got to see that is an illusion, and then you come back to your foundations and rebuild your foundations, the stability of your life. And only you can do this. No one else can do this for you. Okay? Now I'm gonna go and look. We gotta I want to check on something here. I want to check on where you are at in your spiritual journey. Where are you at? And so we can use this major arcana deck to kind of figure that out, to figure out where you're at. There's the card that doesn't do anything here. Let me see where that is at. Did that one just disappear? So who you are in this journey is you are the 0 card, the Fool card, and you're going to be moving. I want to kind of see where you're at. That card here. Let me see where you're at. So where are you? Where are you on your spiritual journey? Where are you on your journey in this life? Where are you on your journey in this life? Where are you in this journey in your life? Where are you at? Where are you at? Where are you? Where are you in this journey? Where are you in this journey? Let's see if we can just shuffle this up a little bit. It doesn't shuffle very well because there's only 22 cards. It's kind of a hard shuffle, so we just have to mix it up a little bit better. And tell me when to stop. Tell me when to stop. Tell me when to stop mixing. So where are you in this journey? Where are you in this journey? Okay. I'm going to kind of cut this. And so what we're going to do is we're going to be just going and looking through here. So you're clear at the end. All right. So this is interesting. What's in front of you is you don't have anything in front of you in your journey quite yet. But what's behind you is the Empress. And so you're facing a big blank. That's really interesting. So what you're facing right now is that you can leap off this ledge. Take a leap of faith. This is showing you that and it's like you are going to, at the beginning of the journey, you're not quite yet at the magician stage. You're you're like, you have, this is a chance for to be reborn, to be renewed, a renewal. And so you're jumping off the cliff with this feminine power, a feminine power of the Empress. And the number 3 of creative expression. Good night, Mama Sushi. Good night. This is so fascinating. It's like your future it's cloudy and coming from a place of abundance and going into the unknown. That's what this tells me. And what you have with you is this loyal dog. And you have dogs in your life. Dogs you take care of in your journey. And in this bag, it has all the tools you need to start anew and fresh with this rose, the purity, the innocence of an infant. And looking down here, just blueness, water, like water, emotional energy that is there, and you just take a step off. And then you're into this unknown place again. So that in that sense of that change and the need to, in order to see reality and see through the illusion, it requires that you need to make a major change in your life. A major change. And thank you, Tarot Ask Backwards, for gifting me this deck back in March for my birthday. And so I want to do a word from the Mary Mother Oracle and see what Mary Mother has to say as to where you need to go from here. Okay, we'll just shuffle. Hail Mary, full of grace, the Lord is with thee. Blessed are you among women, and blessed is the fruit of your womb. Holy Mary, Mother of God, pray for it now and at the hour, at the end of your journey. Hail Mary, full of grace, the Lord is with thee. Blessed are you among women, and blessed is the fruit of your womb, Anne. Holy Mary, Mother of God, pray for Anne now until the hour of her passing. Hail Mary, full of grace, the Lord is with thee. Blessed are you among women, and blessed is the fruit of your womb, Anne. Holy Mary, Mother of God, pray for Anne now until the end of her journey. Our Lady of Starting Over. Our Lady is here to help you put the past, especially a painful past, to rest. Her heart is larger than any suffering or confusion. You can trust in her love to successfully guide you through this transition as she encourages you to step onto a new path. You are entitled to learn and then be entirely free from all that has been. Open your heart to a fresh start. Just like that. This message correlates to what the major arcana oracle said, that you are ready to begin anew, to begin a fresh start, to step over, to leap over that ledge and take a leap of faith into a brand new life. But you need to put all of this stuff behind you to find that innocent person you once were, that once were in the past, and bring that into your little bag. Bring it into that bag that the fool carries. Bring that energy. Let me just bring a fool card out. Come in here. If I kind of go through here and I look at that, let's see what this has to say. Where it is the fool. Okay. Let's look at it here this way. And actually, this kind of confirms things too. You're sitting in the back and you have this fire energy. A new passion is ignited and you are going forward. And so in this bag, you need to put in this bag that memory, and that it's not just that memory. You take that memory and you make it that memory of that time before your life was shattered. And you take that and you put it in the bag and you make it real. Because that memory, that thing, that energy is what is going to propel you forward to take that leap of faith. Your loyal dog is with you, and in that, you jump into the wheel of fortune, and the wheel of fortune clicks over into a new cycle, and that new cycle begins anew. Okay, that's what I got for you here. But let's just look at what Our Lady of Starting Over looks like. And this image is for you, Anne. You have this big heart and this big heart. This big heart that's on fire, and it is illuminating every cell in your body. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8. To manifest that number 8, to think in terms of 8 as a manifestation number, that you can do this. You can let go of your past. You can let go and you can allow this healing energy to re-energize every cell in your body, re-energize every cell in your body so that you can go forward into something new. Okay, that's all I got for you. Let's reshuffle this deck and then we'll clear the air. What does this card say? King of Wands. Take up bold leadership. You need decisive energy, decisive action, and lead like a leader. You're going to embrace the world. A new world awaits you. Bold leadership. You can do this. You just have to let go of the past. And look, That card came up again. Wheel of Fortune, changing of cycles. The Emperor, rules, stability, building that new foundation, rules and stability, embracing that strength, the strength of the Emperor and the Empress. Oh, you're starting to feel sick. Oh, all right. Oh, yeah, I'm gonna... She's not on, but... Okay. We're just gonna shuffle this up and shuffle her energy back into here. Wipe the slate clean. Wipe the slate clean. All right. I'm going to put this over here. Let's shuffle this deck here. I'm going to read another question in a second, but I just need to come at it from a blank slate. Just a blank slate here. I think what I'm going to do is, I did film a video of it. Oh, well, why don't we just go do a look at a deck of cards. I want to clear the air out first. And just listen to this holy sound. And breathe. Peace. Faith. Love. Hope. Okay. I'm going to just look at this deck. This is a CBD Tarot de Marcel, that was a Dr. Yov Ben-Dov. I've had this for a while. Let's take a look at it. It's not in order, I don't think. I think I've shuffled it before. This is the French, the Tarot de Marseille, the different system. Let's kind of look at it. I just want to clear the air. Maybe somebody else wants to ask a question. That last reading was pretty intense. And yeah, let's just shuffle the deck up. And we'll just look at it. We can look at it from a shuffle form. Need a little more space. It's a really nice quality deck. I have two other Tarot de Marseilles. Another one that came today, but I filmed the long play video. I'm gonna release it first as a long play video before I just show it off here. I was actually having a real good time when I was going through the cards. A real good time. Okay. See how nice that shuffles? This is a really quality deck. Now, in this one, you would be using, you can use your numerology a little bit, the tarot numerology a little bit better. There are no images on it, so we'll just kind of go through it really fast. Cups. I think that's the King of Pentacles. I don't know. It's in French. So, anyway, we don't need to see it all. We're just gonna go fast. I'm gonna go fast through this. Sun card. We got two people like sumo wrestlers here. What is that? 3. Okay, that's the Empress. And okay, this has some blank cards. And this is like, I believe, the Fool, because in the Tarot de Marseille, the dog is biting the Fool's arse. Instead of, he's out and chasing him right out of town. The cards have really nice quality. I don't know. Okay, that's the Devil. But the Devil looks like it's like a dominatrix in some kind of a bondage costume. Yeah. So I guess when they printed these, they use woodcuts, because this one has been around since the 1700s. This a design or similar design to this. And I said you would be using for these pips, you'll be using numerology and an understanding of the elements. So like this is an earth element, understanding of the earth element as they move from like 1 to 10. And so in tarot, it is a movement between 1 and 10, versus in numerology, it's a movement between 1 and 9. And there's your Magician, Hangman, your Death card. There are like differences here. That Wheel of Fortune, but in this Wheel of Fortune for Tarot de Marseille, you have this crank that you're turning it, and you are the master of your own fate. The only fate is the fate you make. The only fate is the fate you make. And that's kind of like this image. Just that whole Terminator 1, the first Terminator 1, and I think it was Reese who made Sarah Connor memorize, the only fate is the fate you make. So you can change your future. Your future is not set in stone. Your future is fluid. All you have to do is turn the crank, and you can create a brand new. Hi, Tasha. Not Tasha. It's Todd. Yes, you may. I was. My first reading was kind of intense. I was sort of working on cleaning the slate off here. You may ask a question. You want Oracle? Well, we'll just see. Let me see what your question is, and then I'll determine what. 4? What do you mean, like 4? I don't understand. Let's see. Okay, I'm gonna put this over here. What am I looking for? The blank note cards. That's what I'm looking at. There they are. Okay. Okay. I love reading. Oh, I didn't like my life. I didn't. So you're number 4 for liking my life today. And I'm really a new channel as well. So your question. Okay. Yeah. Let me get to your question. I'm gonna write your name down. We're gonna get this intention here. Tanisha. And boyfriend. And is it an ex-boyfriend? Do I got your gender right? I'm gonna, since I don't know what your gender is, I'm assuming this is female, but I'm not sure. And ex, your ex. Okay, thank you. Okay, all right. I assumed right. So so the question is I'm just gonna write it in first person. Okay, will Tanisha get back together with her ex-boyfriend? Okay, that's the question, and this is the intention that we're going to put out there. I'm going to start by clearing the air. So I want everybody to just clear your mind out, and with me, we're going to clear our minds out and just listen to the sound. All right. We're going to do this as a yes-no question. Okay. I'm going to do as a yes-no question. Okay? I'm going to do a 3-card yes-no spread. And then we'll see what the cards say. We'll see what the cards say. So, a 3-card yes-no spread. Will Tanisha get back together with her ex-boyfriend? Will Tanisha get back together with her ex-boyfriend? Will Tanisha get back together with her ex-boyfriend? So, the answer to this question is yes. The basic answer is yes. No, actually, yes, it's yes. It's a yes answer. But it says you are taking a journey and you're moving from one place. That's how that's the answer to here is it does say yes. The tarot says yes. But there's in this spread, you're looking at there's a bit of a brokenness in this relationship. And when you get back together, it will not be like a cause of celebration. You are settled in your energy, your motherly energy here. And you're moving on from what state you are at now into this state. But when this reunion happens, it's not there may be a lot of disconnected energies here. The partnership, uh, that's what I see here. Is there? Yes, you can get back together, but it may not be such a great reunion. I want to. I want to see what the vibe is. What is the vibe of Tanisha's relationship with her ex-boyfriend? What is the vibe of? Yes. What is the vibe of Tanisha's relationship with her ex-boyfriend? What is going on in that relationship? What is going on in that broken relationship? Maybe I have the cards in the wrong order. Maybe it should be like this. We're starting in a place of brokenness, and then you're coming, but still, it has this sense of moving on, moving on to something else. And so, yes, you're getting back together again. Either it's you are disconnected, but you are comfortable in your earth energy, in your Empress spirit. But there's a sense of moving on. The yes, no, it does say yes, but I'm not so, it feels iffy. It feels iffy. So I'm going to asking what is the vibe of this relationship? What is going on in this relationship that with Tanisha and her ex-boyfriend? What is going on with that? What is the energy of that relationship? What is the energy of that relationship? Hail Mary, full of grace, the Lord is with you. Blessed is the fruit of your womb, Tanisha. Holy Mary, Mother of God, pray for Tanisha now until the end of her journey. So I see this is of clinginess and then of family ties. Clinging to the old ways and your desire for family. Holding on. Holding on. I'll be with you guys in a moment here. I need to see something else here. Let's go take a look at just so what needs to happen here. So what you have a maybe this is an energy that you really need to let go of, to being really too clinging on to things. You have your ex, and so it sounds like to me is that you can get back together with this guy, but I think that you gotta let go of a lot of the reasons why you want to you want to detach yourself from how the relationship once was, what for all the reasons that you broke up. You need to detach yourself from that and not let those energies and those emotions influence the starting. You're starting with a new relationship this with this guy that you were with before. So family, to create a family together, you have to have a partnership. And so to create a family together, you really need to have this energy like this. You have to be in a state of partnership, in a state of unity. But this is showing you don't have that unity. Maybe because yes, you have been broken up. But then so that's what I see here. But then I want to look at the energy of this overall thing here. And we're looking at 3, 3, 6. 6 plus 8 is 14. 1 plus 4 is 5. 5 is change. So that change could be that you are going to make some changes in your life and you'll get back together with this guy. And maybe it works out, maybe it doesn't. Maybe it turns into that you have family, that you get married and you have children. And yeah. And so that's kind of what this shows, Tanisha. And yeah. But this 5 number also, yeah, of change and challenge or freedom. So you may actually not want to get back together with this guy, but maybe you do. I have a feeling like you do want to, and because you are clinging on to what you had. But I think you really need to let go of that and start fresh, start new in this new relationship. Okay? So let's go. See what Mary Mother says in this oracle, and starting going forward. Hail Mary, full of grace, the Lord is with thee. Blessed are you among women, and blessed is the fruit of your womb, Tanisha. Holy Mary, Mother of God, pray for Tanisha. Hail Mary, full of grace, the Lord is with thee. Blessed are you among women, and blessed is the fruit of your womb, Tanisha. Holy Mary, Mother of God, pray for Tanisha now and all throughout this journey. It's this card here. Our Lady of Promise. As you labor towards a peaceful resolution and become willing and capable of stepping into the freedom of a new cycle. The number 5, change, freedom, challenge. The freedom of a new cycle of your destiny. Her light is there. Mary's light is there. The Mary, and whatever Mary means to you, if that is like a goddess energy, that goddess energy is there. Light is there for you. Her promise is urging you onward. Go forward. Change. Let go of the past. No matter what is happening for you right now, the deep truth of what is unfolding is her promise of new life. Everything else is just a symptom of that. Have faith, trust, and believe. I'll be with you in a moment, please. And so this is that. And so your new journey begins right here. This is a nest. This is an egg. We're starting with a whole new egg, and this egg will hatch into another little bird that will fly free and You will become that new bird that is flying free into your next adventure. See what are the other numbers here on these flowers? Look at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. 1 plus 6 is 7. And with that number 7, that is one where you need to spend a little time in self-reflection and contemplate these things and contemplate what it is truly is that you want. Okay, that's all I got for you. So, Tanisha, thank you for letting me read for you. And I need to see who is next. This was my second on 7/9/25. Okay, and we're gonna put that over here. I'm gonna grab a new card, and we are looking back. We have Tanisha and Christina Tabaga. Welcome. Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't stop your reading. I didn't see that. I apologize. And then so okay, so we have a love reading for Glenn. I apologize for not stopping the reading. I didn't see Glenn. Okay. So a love reading for Glenn. Okay. And then I'm going to start the list. So it is Christina. You're next after Glenn. And so Glenn, this is a love reading. And Christina. Is also a love reading. Okay. I'm going to do Glenn's, and then I'm going to come back and write your question down, Christina. Okay, we are going to, I'm going to clear things out. Let's start by, I'm going to reshuffle these cards here. Just going to reshuffle the cards. Okay, I'm going to try to clear that energy out, and I apologize that I did not stop the reading, that I did not see that message. Forgive me, Tashina, for not seeing that. Okay, let's clear the air. And we're asking Mary of Guadalupe for the truth. For the truth and nothing but the truth here. For Glenn. Okay. I just need to quiet my mind down a bit. And so I'm going to guess, Glenn, welcome, Zorro. I'm going to guess that are you asking, Glenn, is love on the horizon for you? Is romance near? Will I find love soon? Love soon? I'm guessing that's how I interpret your question to be right now. Is that correct? Okay, all right. Now, Glenn, I know that I've read for you here before. This is another deck that's primarily for relationships. But I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to start first with a 3-card yes no. And so that is a love and relationship one, and so, but I'm going to start first with a 3-card reading. I want to get your energy levels, the energies from the numerology, and then maybe we'll go to the we'll see. We'll go from here. We'll see what the answer is. And so we're asking Mary, the energy of Mary, of the feminine energy, whatever that energy is. Right now I'm named it Mary, an ancestor, a demagogue, a goddess figure, that for the truth. Glenn is seeking the truth right now. Will he find love soon? Will he find love soon? Will Glenn find love soon? We're shuffling this way. We're going to do a 3-card yes-no spread. Round and round we go. And you just have to also remember there is this Wheel of Fortune energy. This is, there are some energies here that I drew this afternoon before I started. Cards, energy, and the love is in the air for Glenn. For Glenn. Will Glenn find love soon? Will Glenn find love soon? Will Glenn find love soon? One. And there's all the cards. They popped out. So this here tells me it's yes. And how does this story begin? It is a yes. I think it starts here. It starts here with from your loneliness, and you are coming from a place of being lonely. And in this, you're looking, so this is the energy that is around the yes, that you will find love soon. In this King of Swords energy, this being wise and fair and ethical. That's kind of the wisdom, sitting on a throne of and having this air energy, this intellectual energy, because you have this intellectual energy about you. You're an intellectual person, and you need to rest in that energy. Rest in that energy of being a wise person, a rational person, and that you will always seek out the truth. Seek out the truth. And in that truth, we move over into this Ace of Cups. And this is in the image that is in this Ace of Cups, and is a very Catholic image of the Eucharist. And a dove comes down with the Christ energy and fills this up and fills this cup up. And this also says is the beginning of like a new relationship, a beginning of new love. And the spirit of love is coming into you. It's just filling up. So if you would think of this cup, you have been lonely, but you are coming into a place where you are thinking rationally about things and you have more clarity. You're imagining what it is that you want, and you're filling that up with this spiritual love energy, and it's filling your cup. It's filling your cup. And this is the love that you need to give to another person. And this is what you need to do. You have your own love, the love of yourself. And you can fill this cup up by doing a little bit of mirror work. Standing in front of the mirror in the morning when you get up and you look at yourself and you just look at yourself honestly. And you just say the words, I love you. Because your parents made you in love, and you are love. The Spirit of God fills you up with love, and you are love. And your cup fills up with love because you are love. You learn how to love yourself first by looking in the mirror and saying, I love you. And this is kind of hard to do. It's hard to do, and it's oftentimes when we're young, I don't know how old you are, but we look at ourselves and we think we're ugly. But that's not true because your parents made you from their love. And when they saw you, when you were born into this world, they said that Glenn is the most beautiful person I have ever seen. And this is what your mother said the first time she saw you. This is what your father said the first time that he saw you. I love you. You are the most beautiful being I have ever seen. And that was on the day you were born. And that love is here in this cup. Regardless of what you experienced growing up and all the family things, and we're not talking about those things. We're not talking about any of those challenges that have happened since then, but we're just talking about that initial experience of when you were born into this world, and you were born into this world, and you were born into this world in a state of love. Love from your parents, love from your ancestors, from all those who came before you, because their love is in you too, in this cup which is filling up with your love. And you use this love to create more love. You use this love to find a partner and to become a new being together. To become a new being together. Two people come together, they form a unity, but they also form a new being altogether. Because when you're together, you balance each other out in your love, and it flows in from this cup, and it flows from your cup and into the cup of your partner. Back and forth, that love flows. And this is what you need going forward in this new relationship, because there will be many, many challenges that will come. And if this person is the one that you unite with as in a marital relationship, you will need this love. This love is not necessarily a romantic love. This is that agape love. This is that motherly and fatherly love. It is that love that is like a glue that binds everything together. And you need this love. You need this love. Because this is the love that will sustain you through all the hardships that will come. Because there is no such thing as a perfect relationship. All relationships are hard and all relationships take work. But without this cup of love, it will be very, very difficult to weather those challenges that will come. That's the message of Spirit for you. I'm going to look at these numbers here, and we're looking at 9, 14, and 1. So 14, 15, so 9, 14, 24, is that what it is? 24? 6. 2 plus 4 is 6. It's love. So these numbers themselves add up to this number. So Glenn, that is what this reading here has told me. This number is all about love. 9 plus 1 is 10, plus 14 is 24, 2 plus 4 is 6, and 6 is the number of love. 2 is about balance and duality, and 4 is about a stable foundation. And I talked to you about that stable foundation, or Spirit talked to you about that stable foundation, which is this cup, the cup of your love. And that is the reading I have for you. Okay. We don't need to do anything else. And I'm going to mark this as my third reading for, essentially I started this on 7/9/25. Okay. You're welcome. This has been pretty intense tonight. The third intense reading. Okay. Just need to take a little quiet here and bask in this sort of. I'm gonna we're gonna start here. We're finished with yours, but I'm going to bridge. I'm gonna do a bridge between Glenn and Christina, and I'm going to read a page from my missal, and we'll see what random thing comes. And maybe this ball of glass is really hot with energy. And I have a point. The 0 point is here. We'll start on the number 1. There's 1,500 plus pages in this book. And I'm going to spin the top, and I'll get the first number. So we're looking at 14. 1,400. 14. And the second number. Oh, no. 14. The second number. 148. 1480. And the last digit. 1482. 1482. Let's see what's on 1482. And this method of finding page numbers, for the most part, I got it from Moon Scarab. Moon Scarab, he is a rock star, and well, he's still a small channel. He's like around 10,000 subs. 1492. 14. Something happened in history in 1492. Isn't that when Christopher Columbus sailed across the ocean blue in 1492? And there's also, in the 1400s, is when the first tarot deck came into existence. 1492, the Solobusca Tarot came into existence in the 1490s. So, 1492. Okay, so we're looking at songs. I'm just going to read the page. Hopefully there's something here. 42. 4 plus 2 is 6, and so we're going to do this one. 6. To the name that brings salvation. In this sense, the word salvation, we're thinking of unity. To the name that brings unity, and unity can be unity between your brothers and sisters. All of us together is unity, and unity with spiritual unity, and unity all together. Because if you think of, we're not looking at any religions here. I'm not coming in from we're not looking at religions. I want you to not think you have your religion, I have mine, and I'm not talking to you. I'm talking to you from a different place than individual religions, and you may not have a religion, and that's fine too. But so in this sense, to the name to the name that is unnamed, and so if you're looking at in a Judeo-Christian viewpoint, the unnamed one is that we're not, and we're looking at this from a very modern perspective, not an ancient perspective. And this unnamed one is this undefined energy that is the source of us all, that brings us unity. To the unnamed one that brings unity, honor, and worship, and let us pay. That doesn't make any... Okay, we're just going to read it, and I will unpack it here. For which many a generation had in God's foreknowledge lay, but with holy exultation we may sing aloud today to the name. 'Tis the name for adoration, 'tis the name for victory, 'tis the name for meditation in this vale of misery, 'tis the name of veneration by the citizens on high. So what you're looking at is, in this place of love and unity, is that there is a spirit that that is worthy of your adoration, that is worthy for you to meditate upon and to hold up, whether that be like your ancestor. I'm not going to say who that is. That's what we have here. That's what I get out of this. By the Holy Ghost conceiving. So this was a song, and so maybe it just doesn't make much sense, but who knows? Maybe at a later time, this will make sense. So if you come back and you review this video and you look at this spot, maybe it will make sense to you in the context of everything else that we've seen today. And let's clear the space out for Christina for a love reading. I hope that you're still here. That resonating tone. Are you still here, Christina? So her question is does Lee still love me? I don't know if you're okay. You're still here. So does Lee still love me? Hail Mary, full of grace, the Lord is with thee. Blessed are you among women, and blessed is the fruit of your womb, Jesus. Holy Mary, Mother of God, pray for us now and all throughout our journey here. Hail Mary, full of grace, the Lord is with thee. Blessed are you among women, and blessed is the fruit of your womb, Christina. Holy Mary, Mother of God, pray for Christina, that she may find out the answer that she seeks. Okay. Have you spoken with him? Are you on speaking terms? Are you in a relationship and it has gone cold, or you don't know what he's thinking? Okay, so let's do a 3 card. Does Lee still love Christina? Is Lee still in love with Christina? 3 card, yes, no. Does Lee still love Christina? 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 So it sounds like it's a yes. The cards show yes, there is still love in your relationship with in this relationship, but you have a lot of memories. You have a lot of good memories. You are looking a lot at the past, and in that you are also that he's sitting here and he's sort of staring at what is going on, maybe making long-term plans. He's planning the future. Whether you are ultimately included in his future is yet to be seen, because there's a sense of dissatisfaction here. Somebody is dissatisfied and somebody may be ready to be moving on, because that's what they're looking. But I think since that you are here, maybe you're not. There is a sense of this spending time in the past. That's one of the points. One of the other points here is tending the garden, tending the situation, and okay. And so he is sitting here. Maybe he's making plans for the future. He's looking at what is. He's looking at the garden, the crop that is this relationship. He's looking at it. And he wanted to see what is going to unfold. But there's this other thing. And there's some dissatisfaction there. Some dissatisfaction. I want to see what these numbers are, and then I'm going to go in to another tarot, another oracle deck, and see what we have here. So we're looking at 6, 7, and 8. 6, 7, and 8. 6, the number of love. 7, the number of contemplation. And 8, the number of manifestation. That's what those numbers basically mean. But we're going to boil these down to a single digit and see what the overall energy of this situation is. So 8 and 8 is 16, plus 5 is 21. It's 3. So 3 is about creative expression. That's what that number basically means. And it does mean some other things too. Let me go. Let me see here. Let me look at my manual here. So so essentially creative expression, self-expression, and creativity. So 3 is there's a sense of this creativity that's here. Okay. I want to see. I'm going to go and look at this oracle here and see where exactly are you in this relationship? So in this deck here, this is you. Okay, so sometimes he does, but that just may be, Christina, that he is really thinking about the future. But let's just see. I want to just see where you are at. I want to see where you are at in this relationship. This is you. This card represents you, and I want to see where you are before and where you are after. And okay, where you are in a before and after sense. And so where is Christina in her relationship? Where is Christina in her relationship? Where is her mind? Where is her heart in this relationship? Where is Christina 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 in this relationship? Okay. And I'm just going to see here. I'm going to see where you are at. Mixing it up a little bit better. So we're going to look through here and see where you're at. Okay, where did you go to? Let's turn it around this way. I see. You are on the verge of a change. What this shows here, Christina, is you have the world behind you. And that's like an end of a journey. And you are ready to make a change. So that's this sense of you're the one who's a dissatisfied party in this relationship is what I'm getting, and you're ready to walk away. Even though there is love in your relationship, there's love. You have love for him, he has love for you, but there's some dissatisfaction here, and someone is ready to walk away. And since I did this card reading about you and where you are at in this relationship, you are ready for change. And so that's what I got for you. I don't know if that resonates with you or not, but I'm going to pull one more card from another deck for you, and I want to see where what is going on. This is not a one that was going. This is a message that is just for you from Mary, from whatever the spirit of Mary means to you. But this is for you. This message is for you. It is for you only. Okay? This message is for you only. Is the fruit of your womb, Jesus, the Holy Mary, Mother of God. Pray for Christina now and all throughout her journey. Hail Mary, full of grace, the Lord is with thee. Blessed are you among women, and blessed is the fruit of your womb, Christina. Mary, Mother of God, pray Christina now and all throughout her journey. And Mary, please give Christina the message that she needs to hear right now. Give Christina the message that she needs to hear right now. Give Christina the message that she needs to hear right now. What does she need to know right now? Mary, give Christina the message that she needs to hear right now. Okay. Our Lady who prevents interference. Our Lady who prevents interference. No fear shall prevent your forward movement. Christina, no fear shall prevent your forward movement. No obstruction shall overcome your destiny. Mary's love for you is more powerful than any sabotage or confusion. Christina, you can bear witness to darkness in your mind and the world around you, and then bring your attention back to your peaceful sanctuary within the heart of Mary, within your heart of hearts. Stay true to your path while you trust in your sacred purpose and the protection of Mary in your life. And this is the image that she wants to show you. You want clarity to him. So this is Mary's message to you. And what you have here is there are these roses, and we're looking at the tree of life, the tree in the Garden of Eden, that tree that gave you life. Not gave you life, that it gave you your that kicked you out into the world, beyond the garden, and you became this little being, and your soul grew to this woman who has so much love to give, who's surrounded by passion, and the stars in your eyes, the stars surrounding you, surrounded by the passion of the red of the carnation, of red flowers, carnations, roses, carnations. In the number, I'm going to add these numbers up here. We've got 3, that was a petal, 7, 8, 9, and 9 being the number of completion and the end. So there is a sense that in this image, there's a progression of things. Here, here, here. And you are on a journey. And whereas this has showed in your journey that you're ready to embrace a new thing. Now, this may be, what may be coming next is a transformation. It may be that here's this dissatisfaction, and there's a movement onward somewhere. And that's really all I got for you. I don't know if that makes any sense. But that's what I have. $130, what is it? So my advice to you is to do some real soul searching here. Some journaling. So you might do some pros and cons here. Some pros and cons. And to really evaluate your relationship. Only you can do this. I don't know. All I can see is what the Spirit just told me, is that there's change coming. That's all it says. Okay. Thank you for allowing me to read for you. I really, I thank you for that. You can come back to this video later if you need any, to look at the images and to hear what it is that Spirit told me. And this is a very awkward box. Okay, let's put these cards back. Was there any other Yeah, you want clarity for him. Because I see him standing there at the field, and he's tending the garden, making plans for the future. But that other card, there's two things that show there's some dissatisfaction, and there's a sense of a big change, a change coming. And that change could doesn't necessarily mean it's an ending of this relationship. It just means there may just be a change, a change in your heart. And because the when I went into the major arcana oracle, that reading was all about you and what's in your heart. And so a change needs to happen in you for this thing to move forward, and that's all. And okay, that's very accurate. Okay, did I write down? So I know this is the next day, but we started this reading on 5/9/25, and you are what, the fourth one? Yeah, the fourth person. Okay. All right. Well, this is pretty intense. This has been a very intense reading. I'm gonna go back and let's pull this one back out. I'm not. We'll go back and look at it some more. Or is there something else that we can look at? Maybe. Maybe we can look at something else. I'm gonna just pull a random page. I'm not gonna use the tops. Just looking for a message for all of us. A message for all of us that are here. Okay, what do we got here? So, ask and you shall receive. Ask and you shall receive. Parents often display a remarkable patience in smiling, listening to the talk of their little children. And the little ones not only ask questions, they also ask for favors. Parents, listen, but do not always grant what but they listen but do not always grant what the little ones ask. And of course, the horizons of children are limited. Often they ask for favors which would hurt them. Prudent parents show their real love by never giving children more freedom or favors than they are able to handle at any moment in life. However, when one is a teenager or an adult, it takes humility to admit that one's horizon is limited. Yet when we think of the infinite wisdom and love of the Heavenly Father in faith, we should be able to admit that she knows better whatever is best for us. It is in this context that we should see our prayer or a petition. Does it make any sense to pray for a beloved one who has terminal cancer? Yes, it does make perfect sense. Should we pray for a seemingly hopeless marriage situation? Yes, we should pray for that. Today's first and third, okay, anyway, blah, blah, blah. Ask and you shall receive. All right. I think that's all I can do tonight. I'm going to come back on tomorrow night. I'm going to try to come back as close to 11 as possible, but I'll probably schedule it for 11:44. It's still in the full moon phase. Tomorrow will be more closer to a full moon, so I'm in Pacific time, and so for tomorrow, I like that number, 11:44. It's a nice angel number. We're going to start tomorrow night at 11:44. And I guess I'm all about angel numbers. I see angel numbers all the time. I started my first, oh, sorry, I hit a chord here. 1144 angel number. And 1144 is a number that signifies spiritual awakening, enlightenment, and guidance. So I guess that's fitting if I start this live at 11:44 tomorrow night, because we will be seeking guidance, enlightenment, and spiritual awakening. We will be seeking unconditional love, because that's what we are all seeking. We are seeking love and support. Let's do, I'm going to go into, but I'm going to clear the air first, because I forgot I need to do that, because we are out of, we're just going to clear the spirits from this air and go back to a blank slate. Okay. And so this is my crossword oracle. I made this 2 years ago. I started on this journey of divination in a little over 2 years ago, actually. It was just a little bit over 2 years ago. This is the first divination tool that I made for myself. Made it out of losing scratch lottery tickets, which is fitting for me because I do like lottery. I pay the lottery tax. Not paying the lottery tax with these crossword scratchers anymore. I haven't bought any of these for several years, but I saved them for a reason. And this card popped out here. 19, 1, which is new beginning. 9, which is about the end of a journey. So it's the beginning and the end, the alpha and the omega. Beginning and the end, the alpha and the omega. So in the number 19, you might kind of see this and this. And this icon here, the beginning. We're born into this world through a woman. And we grow up and we become a complete human being. And in this complete human being, we have access to the laws that have been on our hearts or written this book. In this book, there is things that we need to know. And we look inside and we can connect up into these other realities. And that is what is in that book. That book is also all of the experiences that we learn along the way, and they are in that book. Looks like it has a little switch on it that you can just turn it on. So in that state of coming to a completeness, That's the number 9. And in this icon, you're looking at Jesus as Christ consciousness, and Christ consciousness is perfected human being. In biblical numerology, at the number 6 is the imperfected human being, and the number 9 is the perfected human being. So that's what this number is so we're looking at the beginning and the end, the beginning and the end, and together this adds up to 10. And 10 and 0 is infinite possibilities. Because what comes next? You start at the beginning, you go through the journey, and you hit to the end. And then you start over on a new task, a new thing to learn. And when you start in that place of the 10 spot or the 1 spot, the 10 spot is that one of new beginnings, new creation, coupled with infinite possibilities. So wrapped up in the number 19 is also the number 10, or infinite possibilities in a new creation. Okay. And so then we go into a word. And the first word that popped out of my mind was bloom. And that this sense of a blooming, a flower blooming into a tree. Let's see if I have something good here. Okay, this one. So you would have an image like this, the bloom. It starts from, the bloom produces a seed, and from the bloom, the seed becomes something new, like this bush. This bush, for instance, blooming into a mature bush that can make new bushes, can bloom new things into existence. The bloom. The other thing that comes to mind here is the movement from one place to another, the movement from the beginning to the end and back to the beginning again. This idea of a totem, like a totem pole, a guidepost, that along the way you need a guide. You need to have some holy object or something that can help you to guide your path. It may be some scripture. Whatever your religious tradition is, that's what it is. If you have none, then maybe something from popular culture, maybe like some story, maybe like the Star Wars can be your totem. Or maybe it's like some holy object. Maybe for me, my totem would be these icons. I like these icons, these images that I refer to various stages of one spiritual journey. But oftentimes we seem to be stuck here. I think oftentimes that's probably where I'm stuck, in a place where it seems desolate, or it seems hopeless or desolate, or you're just in a place where you just are completely ignoring it altogether. And that's also a legitimate stage. But you have these totems and that you can look to. Maybe it's a person. Maybe it is something. It's like an object, a holy object, a history of that movement from bloom to bloom and moving from bloom to bloom. Anyway. Of course, 7. You know, yeah, I would study theater if I were you, and art and sculpture. What I would do is, if you're just starting out, I would just pick one thing and get really good at it. And then move on to the next thing and expand your skills out. So, like for me, as a journey as an artist, Raphael, I started out, well, when I was a kid, it was photography. Actually, the very first thing, it was cooking. I started with cooking because I started learning how to cook when I was like 8 years old. It was cooking, and then it was photography, and then it was writing poetry. I also did theater too. I studied theater in college. It was poetry, creative writing, and then a few years ago, about almost a decade ago, I started painting. And that's kind of how things went. I'm still painting. You like philosophy, and yeah. Yeah, so you put the time in on one of those things. Now with the acting, will you become a famous movie star or whatnot? I don't know. That's about whether that was your journey, if that's what your journey what is to be. But, you know, um Hollywood maybe. Yeah. Well, the only way you can, well, I'll tell you a story here. Um I live near a Indian gaming casino, and um one of my supervisors, he was there for a while when I worked as a floor server, an alcohol server, in I was on the night shift. I started at 10 o'clock night and I worked till 6 o'clock in the morning, and I was serving alcohol from 10 till uh almost 2. I think 2 o'clock is the hour they shut off sales completely, but they shut off sales at the casino at 1:45. No more, no more, no more drinks after 2. And so you had at 2 a.m. you had exactly 1/2 hour to finish your drink, and then we had to go around and collect everybody's drink cups or whatever, so that there's no drinks left after, I think, 2:30 or something like that. So my supervisor, he was in on that crew. He was there for a little while, then he quit, and he went to another job doing wait staff at a high-end restaurant. But he had told me a story that when he was younger, he lived in Santa Barbara. He had moved to California into LA region. I think he found a place in Santa Barbara to live, and then he wanted to pursue acting in Hollywood. You remember that show 90210, 90210? I think it ran, I don't know, it ran for several years. I used to watch it when I was a long time ago. I think it was running in the late 80s and early 90s. I think that 90210. Now, he was in one episode. Um, he was in one episode. would go and audition and audition and audition and audition. And he got in one episode. Now, he didn't get his name in the credits, but he was like an extra in the Peach Pit on some episode, but his name was never in the credits. So I wasn't able to ever look it up. I just took it on faith that he was there. One episode in a Hollywood production of a television show called 90210. That's a person that I know personally, that I've met in my journeys here where I live currently. And so these things are possible. But he made his living waiting tables. And he made a damn good living too. And so, yeah. So anyways, so if you want to be a Hollywood actor, then you have to go to Hollywood and you have to audition and audition and audition. And that's the only way that you can do that. And that's just requires that work on yourself. I don't know that, but Raphael, you might not to be famous. So maybe, but I know a lot of other people who are actors. I have another friend that he has an MFA in acting. He's what is he, 67 now? 65? And I met him up in Seattle. This is actually a funny story of like serendipity. And I lived in Seattle from 2003 through 2011. And I met Larry like in 2004 in the open mic circle. We did spoken word poetry, and we have journeyed together since 2004. He lives in Northern California. He is a caretaker for his mother, who is in her 90s, and Larry is 65. He does acting non-professionally. I think he's acting in like a Shakespearean play really soon. I think now he's Larry is acting in Romeo and Juliet, and he's playing the lead role of the friar. And he talked to me about how hard it is learning lines at 65 years of age. And there comes a point in time in an actor's life where they can't learn lines anymore, and that's when their career is over. That's when their career as an actor is over, is when they can't memorize lines anymore. And so and that's in general with all actors. It doesn't matter if you're a paid actor or an unpaid actor. Yeah. Yeah. And so you feel like acting, not to be a character. Yeah. Yeah. And but he had made for a good 20, 30 years, he made a living as an actor. But what the kind of acting he was doing was teaching people how to sell products, because he's a salesperson. That's what his day job is. Yeah. Just turned 69. And it just depends on it. And if Tom Hanks starts to lose his short-term memory, then his acting career is over. When they have these normal course of aging, and or whatever actor it is when they start to lose their short-term memory, their career is over. And so yes, and yeah, and Bruce Will, yes, he had the same. That's what my friend Larry had talked about. But so here's the story. Before I moved up to Seattle, I hung out with this this theater professor, a theater teacher at a high school. And I acted in one play with him at a community theater, and we were in King Lear, and so he had a minor role. All the major roles were filled by professional actors from Portland, and this was in a small town in Oregon I live in, and so like the Cordelia, and all the principal main characters in King Lear were filled by these off-season Portland professional actors. And so none of us townspeople got a chance to go in, and a few people did. Some of my friends, so Larry, my my theater professor friend, he got a role. But anyway, we were together. I got just a small. I got a bit part. I got a bit part. That's what I got, was a bit part. And this was when I was 35, which was actually in 2003, the early, like, summer of 2003. So this guy, I found out when I moved back that this theater professor and my friend Larry from Seattle, that they went to college together, and then also had done a lot of acting together in the Seattle area. So I had this traveling relationship, a friendship with this fellow for many years. I moved to Seattle, and one of the first people I meet is a person he was friends with when he was younger, and they went to college together. They got a Master's of Fine Arts, I think, in Chicago together. They went to the same college at the same time. And so then this was how this journey, of course, he's still teaching. I haven't seen him since then, but that's this story. And I have some other stories of serendipity like that as well. That they're just kind of, I think we all have those kinds of things, but it's kind of amazing. And I that so it was like these were people who were influential in my life. And then up in Seattle, there was a fellow who was in I organized a writers group. Between me and a lady, and she's older than I am. We kind of dated, kind of, sort of, yes, kind of, sort of, no, but we are really good friends. We've known each other close to 20 years, and we're still really good friends. But there was a fellow in our writers group, I think his name was Charles, and he was a professional actor, a stage actor. And he made, in this up in Seattle, and he made enough money acting as a stage actor to pay a mortgage on a condo I think in South Lake Union area. So he made enough money to pay a $2,000 a month mortgage payment on a condo from acting. And so this stuff is possible, and it's possible, but it doesn't. If you want to be a professional actor, or you want to be an actor, you gotta just go out there and hit the boards, and audition until, and if it is your destiny to be a paid professional actor, it will happen. All right? That's what I got. But I will do some cards for you. But do you want me to do a 3-card yes no spread to see if you will be a paid professional actor, or And if not, then it means that you remain as a unpaid actor. Or if it was me, I wouldn't want to know. I would just go, and if it was me, I would just do the auditions, and I wouldn't be asking tarot that kind of a question if it'll to see if it. But I will ask you that question. This is a 3-card. It's not to say this is not. It's only based on the energy of today, Raphael. I'm gonna write it down. This is your. Yes. Yes, you can. This here is. I'm gonna ask the question. Will Raphael become a paid actor? So the operative word is on paid. It doesn't mean you will not become an actor. And this is only about today. This is will you become, but this is about today's energy. Today's energy. You can go outside and change something, and this answer will be different. Whatever the answer is, it can be, it will, whatever the answer is, this is a fluid. Okay, so this answer, whatever it is completely fluid. And that's what I'm going to say here. So you're my last reading here for the night. Will Raphael become a paid professional actor? Will Raphael become a paid professional actor? Will Raphael become a paid professional actor? This is a 3-card yes/no spread. I'm going to mix these cards up. I want them to be well mixed up. Yes, this is just an inquiry based upon right now. It's just this inquiry is based upon right now. It's not based upon tomorrow, and it's not based upon yesterday. It's based upon right now. Will Raphael become a paid professional actor? I'm going to take this card here. Goes over there, just like that. This one here. And that one there. So, if they're upright, all upright, it's a hard yes. If they're all down, it's a hard no. But if it's anything other than that, then it is a soft yes or a soft no. So the first card is Temperance card. in reverse upside down. So it is a soft no. That's what this is. So we're looking at this as a soft no. The energy that it, and it's all major arcana cards too. So these are all we're looking at depending on how you think this can be a positive card versus a negative card. We're not judging this negativity. So we're looking at the number 14. The number 14 plus 5 plus 15. So 20. So these numbers individually are 5, 5, and 6. Challenge, challenge, and love. And this comes to a single digit number. 10, 16. 1 plus 6 is 7. So the energy that surrounds this is about contemplation. It's about thinking. It's about imagining. It's about withdrawing into your own little space. But maybe this question, being as a paid professional actor, it comes from a place of being not lined up very well. And so in the Temperance card, you're looking at this angel is mixing different elements together to form something new. And so being that it is in reverse, that energy is blocked. It's a blocked energy, and so it's not forming something new. And then over here with this Hierophant, and that's like the Pope energy, and so you're looking at being in a state of with no rules. The rules are not with no rules, and so and then there is a sense in the last card, or the Devil card, you're looking at a sense of your shadow self, your desires, and you can also look at, you know, if you look at the devil as a spirit of freedom and a freedom of the body. So that's kind of just in a nutshell of what you're looking at energy wise. But the total energy of this question is of one of contemplation, and it's something that you are contemplating. It's not necessarily anything that you have really taken action on that. Okay? So when you can come into a place, Raphael, where you may start, you know, doing what I said about doing the auditions, auditioning for maybe commercials. Because if you look at, let's say you look at the Saturday Night Live character, Pete Davidson, I think it was. He has had a job on Saturday Night Live, and then he left Saturday Night Live, and I think he's doing mostly commercials, doing stuff like that. Welcome, Farrell. Welcome. And so Pete Davidson, But then if you look at the guy, because I read the biography on. There's a couple biographies of famous actors I've read. One of them is Curtis Armstrong, and Curtis Armstrong, his story is pretty interesting. He was the actor who played Booger in Revenge of the Nerds, and Revenge of the Nerds is commercials. So you did some commercials years ago. So maybe you need to go do some more. Go do some more commercials. Do some more of that. And so that Curtis Armstrong guy, that's his story is really fascinating. And he was he went to, I don't know, he went to an acting school. I think he's from like Michigan area. His family was, and then he was doing stage acting, and then he landed this role as, I think his first role was in Risky Business as Miles. That's that movie with Tom Cruise. And then he lands this role in Revenge of the Nerds as Booger. That was the guy who was the kind of the nose picking guy. If you haven't seen that one, but maybe you have. And so he didn't want to do the role because he didn't like the character, but he ended up doing the role. He hated the character, just hated the character, but he did it. And that movie was successful. It was a highly successful film. And then he got a lot of, it launched his career as a professional actor by taking this role of a character that he hated. And then he goes to this, class reunion. I think it's like his 20-year class reunion or something like that, back at the college that he went to, and he talking to some of his professors and stuff like that, and he's lamenting, and he's kind of embarrassed by the fact that he did this role as Booger, and that role shaped his career, and it allowed him to be a paid professional actor. And he's lamenting to his professor about how he never did what he said he was going to do. He never became a stage actor. He never did that. And then his professor just said, "Stop. You, Burger, not you, Burger, you have done what everybody dreams of doing here. You became a paid professional actor, and so don't be so down on yourself about the roles that you took. Just celebrate the fact that you did it, and you have lived your dreams, and you've done things that no one else done. And your other classmates, many of them are just waiting tables, or they're just doing other jobs, or they're just settled into roles of being salespersons or whatever in order to support their families. But you became a paid professional actor." And so that's how these okay, I will do that. Yeah, interviewed with vampire. Yeah, exactly. And so that with these stories here is that, maybe this says no. That's based on today's internet, but maybe I don't know when the last time you did a show or not, but to me, I would just go forward. I'm gonna I will get to you next reel, and then I'm gonna close this out. And so I'm gonna ask Mary for a word of encouragement for you, Mary. Mary, a word of encouragement for Raphael. Mary, a word of okay. That's 3 cards that jumped out. All right, I'm going to ask you a question. I want to. So, Raphael, do you want this one, or this one? Which one? This one this one or this one? Which one do you want? This one, or this one? This one? This is number 1, number 2, or number 3? The middle one. Okay. Our Lady of Ripening on the Vine. You are closer to fruition. I'll be right with you. Pharaoh, I'll be right with you. Our Lady of Ripening on the Vine. You are closer to fruition than you may realize. The manifesting desires of your heart are the heavenly fruit, becoming heavy on the vine and ripening, ready to be enjoyed. Fruit that is not gathered and eaten will rot, fertilize the earth, and be born again. Nothing is wasted, yet that fruit could be sweetly savored by those capable of receiving. Gratefully claim and enjoy your harvest. And so here's the image here. So the harvest in this case would be you being an actor, whether it be paid or not, and take comfort in that. If you do at a community theater and you do 4 shows a year, and then maybe one show you are the director, well, you have made it. You have done it. And take pride in that. Take pride in your skills. All right, that's what I got for you. So it's in your blood. All right. All right. I'm going to do one more reading tonight. And you are what, number 5. So I started this live on 7/9/25, and you're number 5. And we are going to do a what is blocking you. All right. So maybe, Raphael, you should see in your local theater if you can do some directing, to do something like that. I'm going to put this deck away. Oh no, we'll just leave it over here. And, oh, one last card. Though this is a relationship deck, the energy of this oracle is about what is blocking you. Let me see it. This may not be the right. It may not. Just for more than that, but so Pharaoh, is this the hands in prayer? Okay. Is that, do you want me to use this deck? I haven't actually used it yet tonight. And so these are the types of energies that are here. And so it is a, you want a general reading? Okay. Okay. All right. We'll give you a general energy. But your first question is, what is blocking you? And, so I'm just going to put it in there as Wolf dog. Wolf dog. What is blocking me? What is blocking me? That was your first question. What is blocking me? I'm going to clear the air out. I wonder how much battery I have left on this phone. I'm going to start with some general information for wolf dog. What is blocking? What is blocking wolf dog? What is blocking wolf dog? The overall energy is there is 5, which you need to change. Okay. Written backwards. God flow. God flow. God flow. Okay. Wolf dog, God flow. With the number 1 and 4. Number 1 is about new beginning, new creations, something new. And 4 is about foundations and stability. I would probably read this in a positive sense of looking that you need to make some changes. And number 5, in building on this, you have number 5, the summation of that, which is challenge, change, and freedom. So these are the basic energies I have here. So what's blocking you from moving forward? Maybe you're being challenged and you see it as a block, but it's not a block. You just have to, it's something you have to work through. You have to work through that. But that means also you need to build your foundation, work on building your foundation, but you're still at the beginning of something. You haven't finished this task. You're still at the beginning place in this thing that you're working on, this thing that you're doing. And you're building your foundation, you're building your stability. But at this point in time, you are being challenged, and it feels like you are being prevented from going forward. So what this tells me is that you got to bang your head against the wall until you break through. This thing that you're doing, you need to keep doing this thing. You need to keep building your foundation, keep building your stability, and building and building and building your knowledge of whatever this is that you are working on. And you are feeling blocked, but you can go forward because this is something you want to do. You may be taking a little course correction change, but you are still going forward this because you're still at the beginning of this. At the beginning of this thing, and you're feeling like there's a block in your way. And my advice to you is to keep hitting that wall. Keep hitting that wall. Keep hitting that wall. Keep hitting that wall. Keep hitting that wall until you break through. And so some words. You need to breathe in and out and exhale. When you breathe in deeply, breathe in God and exhale. Exhale all of these worries. Flush all these worries out of you. Breathe in this newness. Breathe out success. Breathe out all of those things that you are worried about. And I see like this rake. You're there pulling the rake and you're raking these things in, and you're working on and raking. This is a tool. Maybe you're using it in your garden and you're raking. You're like, meditation, yes, and you're gardening, and you're pulling out the grass and the weeds, and you're raking that stuff up and you're pulling it away, so it's just the dirt, the soil, and that which you have planted, your tomato plants, your squash plants, or whatever it is you have in your garden. And that way these plants don't have to compete with these other things. And then maybe what you'll do is you'll pile into this some maybe some grass clippings, you pile on, you pile onto that soil some clippings from your yard, some grass clippings, and you let that stuff rot. Now, rot, in this sense, it can be a negative thing, but rot can also be a positive thing when you think in terms of gardening. These plant life that rots, and it gives nourishment to the soil. You have at this new place, you're at this new beginning right now. You are building the foundation and you're being challenged. And you feel like you need to change course, but maybe you don't need to change course. Maybe you need to stay within this energy of this 14 of foundation building. And part of that is, in my garden metaphor, you are putting on the surf, you're cleaning out all of the weeds, and you're putting mulch down. That mulch, which will mold, it will rot, and there on all that, and it'll create heat, and it will give the plants that you have planted the nourishment it needs in order to flourish. Okay, that's that. I don't think I don't, this deck is not the right one. I'm gonna read two more cards, give you two more choices here. I want to find out where you're at specifically in this journey. Where you're at. And so this is, I've read this one a few times. I want to see what's behind you and what is in front of you. And that's what we're going to be looking at right now. What is behind you and what is in front of you. This does have some nudie cards in it, so we're going to try to block out the nudie cards. Hopefully we got... I don't want that extra card in there. I'm getting hungry. Where did that card run off to? Okay. Oh, there it is. Yeah, okay. Okay. This... okay, I'm going to explain to you what's going to happen here. This wolf dog is you. This is you. And this is you on this journey, and you are on a journey between the magician and the world. And I'm gonna mix these up really, really well, and we're gonna find out where on that journey you are, what was behind you and what is in front of you. And so this is you. And this is you right now, in this moment, right now. This is you. And so we are going to mix these cards up. And Spirit is going to tell us where you are exactly in this journey. What is in front of you and what is behind you. While you are in this process of building your foundation, building what it is that you are working on in this moment. And I'll tell you what, Wolf Dog, why don't you tell me when to stop shuffling? Tell me when to stop shuffling. Just say in a comment, stop, and then I will stop. Okay, here we are. Now we'll go through here, and what we have the tower behind you, and you have the Hierophant in front of you. The tower is a really like a transformational kind of a thing. Your house is on fire and everyone is falling out of it. It's like, it feels like everything is coming to an end. This is that sense where you feel like you're blocked. What is blocking you? Why that challenge is that wall that you've hit. And this is this experience. And this is the experience that you are in right now. But what sits in front of you is you are building that foundation. And this is the 5 card. And look at here. the energy of the 5, a challenge. But this challenge will be met by through structure, through order, through rules. This figure here is like a religious figure, like the Pope, the one who has all the rules. I find it really curious here that this number here and this number is exactly the same. And so that the solution here is you are being challenged. You're maybe to embracing something, embracing some different rules and everything. But here you are. You're working to get through this challenge in order to build your foundation and come into this state of being. Maybe we'll just go and look at what all these numbers together are. And it's 21. 16 plus 5 is 21. And so what we're looking at is 21, which means 3. So the 2 kind of, and then here is, so 2, which is, you might think of in terms of like balance. And so you are balancing different aspects of your life together. You're on a teeter-totter, and they're kind of they need to come into some sort of an equilibrium, into a balance. Or it's a duality issue between the light and the darkness, the yin and the yang. But I kind of see it as, in this sense, as balance. And you are asked of yourself to balance. That's the 2. And the 1, of course, we're back here to new beginnings. Okay? And so you are back in a new beginnings, but then 3, the energy of 3 is about self-expression and creativity. And so how you get through that brick wall comes through balancing the new creation and becoming creativity. And together, 3 plus 5 is 8. And that is the manifestation of what is next. And that's the next step after you get through this 5, is you face this challenge and you go through this challenge. You develop this. You balance your life. You balance expectations against reality. You balance the things that you're learning from the beginning, these beginning creation stuff, the creation, in order to gain greater creativity in your self-expression. And through all of that, you are here. You are here in this place, in this Hierophant. You are resting in this, at this point, as the Fool. You are resting in the Hierophant's energy, gaining wisdom, gaining knowledge, in order to come to the next place, which is the 8. Of course, you will pass through some contemplation, some other things, the other levels of between 3, 4, and 5. 4, that's that foundation, the stability that you're developing. And ultimately, you hit that 9 spot. you hit the number 9, which is the completion of this part of the journey. And whatever it is, you manifest it, you bring it into reality, you bring it into fruition. And I'm going to read one more card from Mary and see what Mary has to say for you in the right now. Mary, a word for Wolf Dog God Flow. A word for Wolf Dog God Flow right now. What does he need to know? What does he need to know from you right now? What does he need to know from you right now? These decks, these cards do not shuffle. What does he need to know from you right now? Hail Mary, full of grace, the Lord is with thee. Blessed are you among women, and blessed is the fruit of your womb, Wolf Dog. Holy Mary, Mother of God, pray for Wolf Dog now and all throughout his journey. Hail Mary, full of grace, the Lord is with thee. Blessed are you among women, and blessed is the fruit of your womb, Wolf Dog. Holy Mary, Mother of God, pray for Wolf Dog now and all throughout his journey. Hail Mary, full of grace, the Lord is with thee. Blessed are you among women, and blessed is the fruit of your womb, Wolf Dog. And here's the picture. And this is this thing that you are trying to do, that you are building. It is still in an infant state. It hasn't gone beyond that infant state yet. And you are this nurturing person. You are nurturing this thing that you are working on and trying to bring it into being a toddler, to being a young person, to being a teenager, to being adult. You're bringing it into its fullness of its being. And her word to you is this: Our Lady of Manifest Miracles. Manifest miracles. So vast is the scale of divine intelligence unfolding in perfect wisdom throughout the universe that our mind cannot grasp it. Miraculous grace is unfathomable to anything other than the trusting heart that needs no explanation. Offer up your fears, doubts, and reasons why something cannot heal. Then your soul can receive the blessing of the Sacred Heart that holds resolution for all matters within its kind genius. All right. That's all I got for you. And so that's the picture here. You can come back to this later, Wolf Dog, and review what Spirit has told you here today. And thank you very much for letting me read for you today. I started this live stream on 7/9/25 at 11:44 p.m. And you were my 6th reading for today. Thank you very much. I need to go to bed because it's getting pretty late. I have a busy day tomorrow. Okay, that doesn't belong on the floor. All right, let us clear the air. And we have Our Father who art in heaven, how holy is your name. Your kingdom come, your will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Your will be done on earth as it is in heaven. It starts there. Your kingdom come, your will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Ask for you to pray for Raphael, to pray for Wolf Dog, to pray for Christina, to pray for Glenn, to pray for Tanisha, to pray for Anne, to pray for all those who have asked for guidance today. And let's pray also for everybody who has lurked in, and to pray for our leaders in the world, that they may do the right thing. That they may do the right thing, that their hearts not be hardened, that they act out of mercy, they act out of love, they act out of kindness. We pray that this happens. Whoever those leaders may be at whatever level of office in our world, all over the world. Let us pray for all the people of this earth, all of your creation, all of the plants, the animals, the creatures of the sky, and the creatures of the deep, that we may all enjoy your love for us, for all of us, and that we may take care of one another. Amen. Good night. Thank you. And we'll be back tomorrow night at 11:44 p.m. Pacific time. I have company coming over on the weekend, so there will be no Saturday night reading and no Sunday night reading. Maybe we'll do a reading Sunday night. I don't know. It depends. This one goes into here. Okay, what am I missing? Oh yeah, it's right here. And then we'll close out here by turning the candle off. Good night, everybody, and thank you very much for your support. Thank everybody for pushing the like button and the sub button. And we will see you the next time. Bye-bye.